waiting for the helicopter to start. You see on the bottom right of our screen, or bottom center, see that little thing called mouse steer? Here, you're gonna have to turn that on. So that's how we're gonna primarily be using to fly our helicopter instead of the WSD. And for those who are good at WSD, I give you mad respect, because that is an extremely difficult way to fly your helicopter. Those are the real masters of flying. For now, I'm gonna teach you the beautiful art of mouse steer. So I have it set to alt. I don't remember what the default is. We're gonna have to press that, and of course your basic helicopter controls, space, shift, Q, E. We're gonna completely ignore WSD here, since we're gonna be using all that for our mouse. Now for Q and E, that's our pedals. That's how we're gonna be rotating our helicopter in its x-axis. I think that's what it's called. That's how we're gonna be primarily using to fly our helicopter, and as you can see, we're flying in a straight line. Wow! We're not wobbling all over the goddamn place. We're not doing some major adjustments. We're doing some micro adjustments with our mouse. Now you might say, how am I gonna look around while I'm flying? Well, if you need to do extremely complicated maneuvers, that's the funny part. You can't. But if you're just flying or turning, like from time to time, you can turn it off to look around very quickly. Since it's set to all, it's very accessible. And we're going to be primarily using our mouse. That's the beauty of mouse steer. You can fly really dangerously. Let's say we want to fly really low. And also, flying in first person or third person is completely up to your preference. I transition from third to first person from time to time, depending on what I need. But yeah, it's pretty easy. Alright, let's say we're gonna do a quick J-hook landing over at this airstrip. Let's say we're coming in hot. We need to get our troops down really quick for, well, let's say a medevac. We pull off while holding E and spacebar, and then we tap shift as soon as we are parallel to, or we're facing the opposite direction to where we came from. And that's pretty easy. Alright, let's do that one more time. That's a good example. That was a pretty good example that I set out there. If you are a constant flyer in Arma or Squad, this should be pretty easy, since it practically has a baby version of the controls from there. And there you go. That's a very quick landing. Alright, let's say you're doing air assault. So we got your rappel systems, your fries bar. Let's say you're gonna rappel your troops over at this building. You're gonna do a slight J-hook without pressing shift or spacebar. Do some micro adjustments using your mouse, since we can actually do that now. And then you press R, and you can get your troops down. If you're pretty lazy, you can use X to use your auto hover. I personally don't recommend it, because auto hover kind of sucks, since it does adjustments way too late. Let's say we want to land over at Depot here. Let's give it a moment to get there. Also, I'm holding spacebar while slightly perpendicular to the ground. Well, you don't have to do that if you don't want to fly too fast and crash. Let's do a J-hook to land in this area. So let's say over here, and ta-da! You've successfully flown a helicopter without crashing it, because you've been using WASD, or you're a mole. Either way, Godspeed to every one of you new pilots and all that shit. I salute you for trying to learn how to pilot. I myself am an air taxi in public service. And good luck. ISO out.